Life is what you make it. Try to make it the best and positive. See it? Life is try to travel the road in the best way you can. I don't them to teach the youth them the right way. See it? I make them see the right path. Too much evil are going on right now in the world. Have some people I hate car with thing a move sky. Have some people I hate car with tunes them a fly. Things it a go on now for the eye. And I have some man them I hate car, the girls love the eye. Have some people I love car with clean with the vibes. Have some people I love car with real with the styles. Music a go on and me thing I make nice. Anything I when me touch it I feel life. Yo.
Yes, greetings. My name is Shala Selassie Twan Emmanuel, aka Daddy Twan, St.Lucia recording artist, reggae recording artist, you know. I'm here. First of all, let me introduce the platform that we will be shooting this out on. It's called Been There, Done That. It's produced by J. Nile, or otherwise known as the Young Ruler, the son of Gregory Isaacs, the great Gregory Isaacs, now based in Jamaica, but operates between England, Europe, and Jamaica. Very versatile Rastaman. He's also singer, songwriter, producer. He has a whole lot of slashes. So it's an honor of mine and a pleasure to be one of the first interviewees from the St.Lucia leg of Being There, Done That. Platform you should go to and look out for, you know. He interviews a whole lot of artists, foundation and otherwise. Give thanks.
Okay, so that was the intro. So question 2 we're doing where the artist originates from. Where are you from? Give us a history.
I am originally from St.Lucia, I guess by way of Africa, because we are descendants of the great ancestors, you know. But I am from St.Lucia, born and kind of grew up here. I grew up between here and the States, and New York mainly. Yeah.
I agree. So tell me, what's the first time you held a fire phone?
First time holding a fire phone, well, before an audience was in because we used to touch up at the brethren's houses, different houses where we have fire phone was available. But the first time actually holding a fire phone before an audience was on the island of Martinique, 1983. I don't remember the month, but I think it had to be somewhere around the Whitsuntide weekend, which is, I guess, the weekend just like now. Yeah, ironically, yes, you know. First time was in La Mate. It was, I was accompanying my sister who worked with Barclays Bank at the time, and there was this weekend excursion. The Martinique base of Barclays Bank was hosting the St. Lucia branch, and I was fortunate enough to be with her on that weekend, you know? Yeah.
So how was the experience the first time? Give us a little more input.
Oh, well, there's a reason why it happened before the audience that particular night. I'll give you a short rundown of what transpired. I was, we went out to a session hosted by the Martinique contingent. And my French is lousy, and in spite of the fact that we come from an island that is where English is spoken primarily, as well as the dialect, which is Creole. My Creole is very lousy, so you can imagine what my French is like, or was like at that time. We went up to the session. We were staying in a place called Twazili, but we went out to the session out in La Mate. There was this French chick, nice, dark, cute little cutie. than I thought I wanted to. It was kind of boring for me because it wasn't just reggae music. I being a great fan of reggae music. There was a lot of the French oriented music. And I figured, yo, I need to get to this girl. But I knew I wouldn't be able to converse with her in the manner that I would want to. So I was thinking about what I could have done to maybe impress her and make that come across a little easier. So I went up to the DJ who was playing the music, and I asked him, I was trying to get him, ask him to let me have the mic, or the fire phone as we call it nowadays. And he couldn't understand what I was saying, so I had to draw the example and say, I want to do something like Yellow Man. So the minute I said Yellow Man, he understood that I wanted the fire phone to deliver some lyrics, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So he handed it to me, and I wasn't a real written artist at the time. We used to do a lot of freestyle, so I just freestyle my way through the rhythms, you know? I created this big impact. I was looking down at the dance floor. I realized everybody was converging on the floor to look up to realize they thought it was like an arranged performance, but it was spur of the moment, you know? But the joke about it is this: after I thrilled the crowd, I went downstairs hoping to make my move towards this little dark cutie that I saw, only to realize that it was time for us to head back to the hotel. One of the biggest disappointments.
I was short-lived.
It was a very, very short-lived love. or infatuation, if you want to call it that.
All right.
Yeah, man, you know?
Okay, so from this event, tell us, what were the events that really brought you out there? What inspired, what inspiration, you know?
Okay.
What brought you to what you are
To where I'm at. No, what it is this. Surprising enough, when I the following year after being in Martinique, I became a victim of a DUI driver on my island in St.Lucia. And unfortunately, or maybe it could be fortunate, because the Father sees and knows everything, you know. I don't know the fullness, but he sees and knows it all. I became an above knee left leg amputee. So you'll find later that year, which was 1984, the accident took place on the 7th of July, 1984. And soon after that, later on that year, I migrated to the US to be fitted for a prosthetic limb. So we got in, got fitted, hung out a little while, came back home to bury my mother the following year, which was 85, and headed back to New York. My first acquaintances were like Jamaicans in the area of St. Albans where I live.
Yeah.
I remember taking a bicycle in the winter time and going out to get lost to find my way back, to make sure that I knew my bearings, you know, my east, west, north, and south.
An adventure.
Right? So I would pull up, and it used to be like an amazement to the people out in the area to see a one-foot man push out on the bicycle. And I guess it became the same situation with the Jamaicans, who would always see me pass by, until that day I got pulled up by a brethren of mine, who became my brethren, and found out where I was from. He thought I was from Jamaica, but I wasn't. I was you know, so I had to reintroduce ourselves. And within that group, that little crew that I used to compound with on, that's like on 197 and Linden 198 and Linden Boulevard out in Queens 194. There was a singer youth, they call him Anthony Flex. Patrick, but we know him as Anthony Flex. He used to come with his guitar and we would go to this abandoned house right on 197 and Linden, and this guy would sing his guts off. And I would DJ something, I would sing with him, and we just, that's how we spent our time. And it led from that to me being on a whole lot of different sound systems. I could name a few dub masters out in Queens, and Mega Temper, with man like Askell and them man there, you know, Patrick the Older, There was Senatone out in St. Albans too. Far Rockaway, there was the big band Senior Tone. Big up Devon Senior. I haven't heard from him. It's been a few decades now, so I'm hoping that he's alright. Big bad song out in Far Rockaway, Beach 26. K9 out in Queens, but then they relocated to the Bronx. There was Super Tone songs out on Milburn, out in Hempstead. And the whole part of the songs we just, were fortunate enough to be on. So that kind of developed the artistry, the fact that, but I have to mention though, one of the first sound systems, since being in New York, was a St.Lucia sound system called Prefect High Power. Big up my brother Dylan and his younger brother Troy, called Chati and Jayot. And they were doing a small session at the St.Lucia Center on East 49th and Church Avenue. And they say, yo bro, you have to get a stage name, an entertainer's name. My original name used to be Elisha Antoine. Antoine, I tried to work with the two names, but I ended up working with the surname. The first name wasn't scored it as an artist name, a stage name. I didn't want to be a Bantan or any one of those. So I worked with the second name, Antoine, Antoine. So what I had to do, I found out Twan could work, but I spelled it Toine as it's originally spelled. But most people didn't get the pronunciation of Twan when I spelled it Toine. So by the time the second session came around, I went back to the drawing board and spelled Toine, Twan to get the pronunciation of Toine. And that's where Twan came from.
Right.
When I got my first son, Jelani, Ella out in New York, I became Daddy Twan. So that's where the Daddy Twan came from. You understand? Yeah.
So, next thing, give us a little insight. Which entertainer or which sound system, which band, which group really influence your staying in the business?
Well, but I think first and foremost, I must say I am one of the greatest fans of reggae music. I must say that first and foremost. So it had a lot to do with me being such a fan of the genre. You understand? But I mean, there's so many artists, but one that always stands out to me and very close to my heart is the great Dennis Emmanuel Brown. I mean, this Dennis Brown used to give me like goosebumps. And I must say I was very, very, very happy. I was so overjoyed when I got to actually meet him while in New York. There was a big performance, the Reggae Sunsplash tour that passes through before they head to Jamaica. And he was one of the performers rather. They were performing at the Beacon Theatre and the hotel they were staying at. I got to stay there the night, so I waited for him in the lobby and I got a big introduction. It was like, I'm sorry I don't have the photos because they got lost along the way. But Dennis Brown is like one of my greatest inspirations in the business. Great singer, And then with the dance, there were many singers. Gregory is one of my sweetest too, you understand? But DJs like the Lone Ranger, Johnny Ringo, it goes on. It's a wealth of artists, but Dennis Brown is the one that really stands out.
Alright, bro. So tell us one more. What's your cultural background? What are you? Christian, Catholic, Rastafari? Give us.
Well, listen, like I always said, most of us who say Rastafari, like I do, you may see our birth certificates, and strange enough, it was state Roman Catholic because they were the dominant ones in the early days, and everything fell under that banner there.
Maybe it still is.
Maybe it still is, you understand? But what it is, since we along my journey, I've always inclined to a more Afrocentric kind of mindset. And Rastafari was so opportune at the time, and that's who I am. That's what I still. That's my culture. That's the father, you know.
Alright, give thanks to that. Alright. So, in terms of music, who does your writing?
Oh, I know every piece that I've done was written by is and was and will be. No, let me not say will be. All what I've done so far has been written by me. Yeah, I'm not saying that I'm not open to do somebody else's lyrics, but when we get to that bridge, we'll cross it, you know?
Alright,
Yeah.
so what about instruments? Do you play any instruments? Have you tried? Thought about it?
I think patience is a thing that prevented me from actually earning the ability to play an instrument. I mean, I fiddle with the bass, I fiddle with the keyboard, we do some little drumming too.
Or maybe you can try the violin.
My son, my son might be a great influence for me to play the violin because he actually plays the violin. He's still developing, but he plays, you know.
Music is music.
Music is music, but what I can say is this: I've been inclined to utilize the first instrument, which is the voice. You know, so if that gives me any credence as an instrumentalist, that's what it is.
Okay, so tell us, where has the music brought the artists? Where have it gone? You know, tell me where have you flown to, over the seas or locally or regionally?
Locally first, what the music has done for me is because we came in and put in the work. When I came in from America, I flew in from America. I repatriated to St.Lucia February 1997. We came back with the intention to do promotions. We actually set up a little company, my friend, my brother, Gregory Amab and myself. Started a little promotion company called Trinity Promotions. And we started highlighting a good few of the Lucian artists on the stages that we did. But then it became such a task. I got to realize that promotion was not as a simple task as we thought it was. Because it needs a consortium of energies.
You need a good team.
And you need a great, that's what I'm saying. A consortium, a great consortium. We need that team because it's teamwork that makes those things really work. You understand?
Of course.
So eventually we got out of the promotion and started being on other people's promotions. But I would actually say that I started penning lyrics in America. Time I used to be out in New York. But I already got into it full blast when I returned home. You understand? So what it is, locally what it has brought me is I am open for a wealth of the great Jamaican artists who passed through to do their thing.
Give us an example of
examples, the likes of the big mighty Bunny Wheelers.
Nice.
That was I think it was 99 too, you know, up at a club called Gaiety in the north of St. Lucia. On that stage was Turbulence, Sizzler, and a few other artists, Egyptian and those bridges, right? I am open for Sizzler, and one of the most recent was Sizzler and Jackie out in your local show out on the west coast of St. Lucia. We've opened for Michael Sugar by Nuts. We've opened for, I mean, there's so many men.
I know, many to mention.
Many. The Beanie Mans.
Yes.
We've been openers on a whole lot of the shows that passed through, you know? Yeah, from Jamaica.
Alright.
Yeah. And it has also brought me out as far as outside. It has, the promoter has brought us into England because after doing the first album, entitled Overboard, this promoter named Ronnie Mellius brought us in to do the St. Lucia Independent show, which was held at the Stratford Rex, East London.
Nice.
I was the only reggae on the set, you know what I mean? The rest was Calypso coming from St. Lucia and Soca. And we also was picked up by a German promoter called Rough Motek Fritz from Berlin.
nice.
He was on island because he has property on the island, and he heard the track called War with Bush and called up the radio station. The following Sunday we got to meet together, and the rest is history. So since we knew we were heading to England 2004, February 19, 2005, sorry, we called them up. The company was Port Music at the time. We called them up and let them inform them that we were going to be in England, so just prepare our ticket out of London into Berlin. So we did just that, so we got to do Berlin, and the following year we did, 2006, we did Munich, Berlin, and England as well. Yeah.
3, 2, and 3, 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a rundown of albums, singles, collabs. What have you done, in the recent past? Give me some of the releases.
Okay, my first album was 2003-2004 release, entitled Overboard, consisting of 13 tracks. It did well, because like I said earlier on, it got us out, got me out. But I think I would say bad management, or not enough appropriate management, didn't allow that album to work globally as it was supposed to. A lot of people listen and say to me, Twan, this album hasn't done its rounds globally or internationally.
I personally would agree to that.
Yes,
I'm a lover of the album also.
Give thanks. A few people meet me and say, Twan, but we give thanks for what it was. Like I said, we got that level of exposure, and we appreciate it for what it was. And apart from that, we have done a good few singles. We have collaborated with my brother Liberty, who lives out in England. We did about 5 singles last year with him, some of which are available on the various platforms. We have collaborated with the cousin of the great Dennis Emmanuel Brown, and I think it was destined to be that. The way I love Dennis,
yes.
I got to collaborate with the great Donovan Joseph.
Yes.
A lot of people from the area call him Danny Brown, He's from out Carles Close, out in Portmore, St. Catherine, you understand? And it's a joy. We did a track called, we did a cover version. My lyrics was original, but it was a track called My Best Girl. I think it was originally done by John Holtz.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we did that. It was recorded at Small World Studios. Actually, we did that one by Lego Studios on Orange Street. But the producer was Bravo, who owns our Small World thing, So big up Bravo, the mighty producer. I think he's located out on Charles Street off Orange. And big up Perry and them from Lego as well.
So you mentioned his producers?
Producers, yeah. Perry is Lego. Yeah. Bravo owns
so that's some of the
producers that I have worked with as well.
Which other producer have you worked with?
We worked with Chris Meredith, who is in Jamaica too as well. We did a few singles of him, and some of them included singles done by myself and the great Ruffian from Spanish Town. You understand?
Yeah. We
did tracks with this French artist / producer / singer called Rastaman Dere. Yeah, we did a few, and that's where we are right now. But currently, we are working with J. Nile, the producer of the beat that done that platform, because he's a producer extraordinaire, does great work, and he's a lyricist extraordinaire, if I may say so. You understand? Yeah. So he's doing a lot of good work, and I think he's poised to be much bigger than where he's at right now. I can see him being in the biggest circles, So what it is now, since I started writing again, because I took a loss last year, losing my last son, Ian Emmanuel, and it kind of had me in a damper. But the day I started to write, the Friday I started writing again, got a fresh book and started penning new lyrics. The following Saturday, Jane I sent me a rhythm.
Nice.
And when I tried to put other lyrics that I had, that wasn't out yet on there, wifey said to me, no man, just put the new lyrics you write down. It was a track called Thankful. So that started up the work with me and Jane I, otherwise known as Young Ruler from Jamaica. So that's the producer I'm working with right now, and I'm very proud to be within his circle as well.
Okay. So musically, well, I wouldn't know how to say it, but generally right now, what do you have your eyes set on? What's working for you right now? What's happening with Daddy Twan?
Okay, right now, what's in the negotiations that are in progress right now is the Nigerian Reggae Festival.
Sweet.
Because my brother Faye from St.Lucia, he's the one on my behalf negotiating. We have already submitted bios and acceptance letters and everything, so we are just waiting for him, the connect, the middleman Faye, Rastaman Faye from St.Lucia, to give me the green light, and we're really looking forward to that. That's where we are. So in the meantime, we are back to penning and to being as prepared as we can be for whatever that's coming our way, you know.
So what can we expect from you in maybe the next few weeks?
Next few weeks, more recordings for J9, Young Ruler.
Nice.
You know, so I'm looking forward to the Jamaican releases and the England and the Europe by way of J9.
Nice.
Yeah, the great producer, you know. That's what we're looking at, you know.
Nice. Well, so that's it, you've got it one. Anything you want to give us a little something, give us a little acapella, man. Drop something for us.
Okay, let me just look up the background for a little while and we could just do something, a piece of something, you know. Yeah man, the first track we sent out for Jane, I'm just going to give you a little chorus out of it, you know. It goes like this. We there ya once again and we thankful. Welcome to Son with thanks and praises, yes, one heart full. Shall never give I less, give I a thankful. On negativity and never regretful, no. There ya once again and we thankful. Welcome to Son with thanks and praises, yes, one heart full. Shall never give I less, give I a thankful. Born negativity, boy. Thank you, Jah Almighty, yes, for your consideration. When me come and me sons and daughters also for I man. In times of dire need, you send a good Samaritan. A virgin I want see strength for strengthen I man. And I'm a more to put a tongue for chant couple psalms, Proverbs, Genesis to Revelation. And when I can't see to play, you straighten up my vision. Jah Jah always provide for I man. So